Henry Cecil, I may quit training next year. Well, Henry's not here, but his assistant trainer, Harry Dunlop, is. What is the news, Harry?
Well, basically, I mean, as everyone read in every newspaper, I think, it's all just not true, and we're hoping, well, we're looking forward to the next years ahead, really.
What happened at the stables this morning?
Well, we had to, there's a lot of staff there, a lot of people that work for him, and everyone's got to be reassured that it's not happening, and it is not happening, and we basically told them so, and I think a lot of people were very relieved.
What happens, just say, he's had a disappointing year by his own very high standards, just say he has another disappointing next year?
I don't know, I mean, that's for him to decide, but I think you've got to keep going, and we've got a filly that won yesterday so nicely. We've got something to look forward to, we've got more 2-year-olds to look forward to.
So Henry Cecil is not retiring, period?
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. That's the word. Harry Dunlop,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I asked him once, what do you think really clicked you out of it? And he said he saw a Newmarket trainer coming towards him with one of that trainer's owners, and as they walked by, the trainer said to his owner, "That's Henry Cecil. He should have given up years ago." And Henry heard it, and it lit the fire.
Do you go to him every morning and look at him?
No, but
and just
I
think,
mean, he's
wow?
a character. I don't know why sort of good horses seem to have a sort of personality, don't they? And he is sort of different. I mean, he's sort of quite nosy. He's always looking at everything. And
Like good trainers.
I mean, he's definitely a character. He's just not he's not an entity. You get some horses who've got no character. They're just an entity. But the good ones usually have some sort of presence and air about them. You know? He has got that. You know? And I suppose it grows and grows as he gets better and more successful, and he probably knows it too. I mean, you know.
In what way, though, Henry? Can you try
Well,
and
he probably
explain to
knows
us
it.
how he would show that to you?
He's not a fool, I tell you. I mean, he's pretty intelligent. And, I mean, when he came, at Ascot, when he came into that paddock, when everybody clapped him, I mean, you'd almost see that, he was sort of appreciating things. It's like
Proud.
when the Queen was driven down, in a carriage down the Mall, the crowds in the Jubilee Day. I mean, they were, the way they were clapping and applauding her. You can see she appreciates it, and he does the same. I think if you also, if you got beaten, you all started booing, he'd realise that too. And he'd probably be a bit sulky.
Well, he doesn't know how to lose it.
Buzz there is about the place. It's absolutely packed around here at the paddock, and there is Sir Henry Cecil. How great it is to see him here, and he's giving his final instructions to Eddie Ahern, Ian Mungan on board last year's winners twice over, and of course Tom Queally to Frankel. What a race it's going to turn out to be. A couple of pacemakers, Bullet Train, there's Frankel's pacemaker, Windsor Palace I'm sure will also be up there as a representative for Aidan O'Brien. How it will unfold, we'll find out in a few minutes.
Yeah, just confirmation also that William Buick replaces the sideline Ryan Moore on Planteur. Group 1, York's richest ever race then, the 2012 Juddmonte International.
Well, the atmosphere, as Emma said, is absolutely wonderful here at York. And this horse, Bullet Train, he's one of 3 in it, trained by Sir Henry Cecil. He's a full brother or half brother to Frankel, rather. And he's been a pacemaker from his last 4 runs.
Farr, who's been runner-up in top-class races on his last 2 starts, and also ran really well behind So You Think the time before that. No logical reason, though, why he should reverse the placings with Frankel from Goodwood.
And there is Frankel. We were heaping praise on Dandy Nichols earlier for keeping the 10-year-old tax-free going. What Sir Henry's done with this horse is made him into a proper champion. He could have gone the wrong way easily. He was so relaxed walking around the paddock. I think a year ago he'd have been almost wired to the moon.
And the next one, the race card, will be Planteur for Marco Botti. And William Buick now on board, as we just confirmed to you. And this horse is high quality, but fast ground doesn't really suit him. And I know the trainer's worried about the ground today.
Let's have a look at Robin Hood. I'm fascinated to see how the tactics are... Oh, sorry, that's Sri Putra. Missed out Robin Hood. Sri Putra, we saw earlier getting up to beat Afsar. He's been a really good horse. He's been second in the Eclipse a couple of times. He's a 25-to-1 shot. Roger Veeran's horses are in really good form.
Just jig-jogging. The parade order's got a little bit awry. See which one's coming up next. That looks like it's going to be is that twice over, is
yeah.
it? Yeah, twice over, won the race last year, been a wonderful servant to Prince Khalid and Henry Cecil, a whole stack of top prizes, but the signs are this season that maybe he's not quite the horse he was of the two previous ones, though conditions are right for him, top of the ground, a good pace, and hopefully we'll see something like his best.
And I think more importantly, Jim, he likes York. I think he's the one that's going to get placed for me. This is Robin Hood. Shamey Hefferman, of course, rode a big one, Joshua Tree, over in Arlington. But this horse, as I said, he's a pacemaker. Be interesting to see how they're going to use him.
And St Nicholas Abbey. Joseph O'Brien with his father Aidan. Well, on form, he's probably the main threat to Frankel. It's only 1.25 miles. Whether that plays with strengths remains to be seen. It'll be fascinating to see how he's ridden.
Let's have a look at the other 7-year-old in the race, along with twice over, Windsor Palace. He beat Sir Nicholas Abbey early on in the season on very soft ground. He's a fine-looking horse. Well, I don't know, York might just bring out a little bit of a turn around him. There's no doubt he's a good horse, but I think he's been a pacemaker, and once or twice, and he's probably got his own ideas about the game.
There are more people down at the start for this race than there are at the finish of some races at some racetracks. Here we are down at the start. Guys, you've come specially, and why is it special for you?
Well, I was here the year Brigadier Gerard got beat. He's come down and collect the empty bottles and get discount on them. There's always somebody in there. Sorry about that.
Oh no, let's just have a chat about everybody. And sir, what about you? You've come from where?
All the way from Gateshead, Derek, my grandson Jack.
Have you? And you're going to see Frankel?
Yes.
Oh, so anybody else here?
Harley-Full. Yeah, we just want to see Frankel.
Honestly?
Yeah.
And you're here. What about these two? Where are your husbands?
They're on the racecourse.
I tell you what, and you've come down here and left them there?
We've left them at the racecourse while we did lunch.
Oh, well
and
done.
then we've raced down here just to see the horse.
Lovely to see you. And I think there's a guy come through here. Can I just squeeze through? How many generations are here?
There's 3.
3. So tell us who.
This is Grandad Kevin, Dad Liam, and grandson Jacob.
Well, all 3, and you're here just for one reason?
Just to see for Frankel, yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Absolutely. So that's what it's like here at the start. What's it going to be like at the finish?
Well, at the finish, they're certainly expecting Frankel to win 9-1 on. He is here on the course. But you expect in normal races over 50% of odds-on chance they do win. But this is statistically a grim race for odds-on backers, this Judd Bond International. 17 odds-on chances of run, only 6 have won, 11 have lost. And concentrating on them like Await the Dawn last year, in 2006 you had Dylan Thomas, Jans Causeway in 2001, in the 90s Bosra Sham and Stagecraft were beaten, and 7 were beaten in the 70s at odds-on, but it's 9-1 on. The prices on the left are those of win-only books, but the SP will be taken from the prices on the right, and it's 9-1 on Frankel, 5-1 St Nicholas Abbey, female.
On the exchanges, a phenomenal 6 million turnover on Betfair alone, and that's obvious to regard the price of Frankel now towards the 1 to 6, the 6 on mark for Frankel on the exchanges, whereas the betting ring, various places, it's 8 on and even 1 to 10. Frankel, of course, a positive still. St Nicholas Abbey is very weak, out to 11-1.
So Henry couldn't be happy with the way he's cantering down to the start, Frankel. We'll be back in 60 seconds' time.
After the thrills of the international calendar, racegoers meet up in Britain to enjoy the glorious summer flat season ahead.
When it comes to horse racing, you can't beat the sheer excitement of Channel 4 racing. Studying the form, followed by careful selection. The build-up, the anticipation, the sound, the drama. The nail-biting tension as you will your horse on. That final push for the finish line when the runners are neck and neck with only seconds to go, and it's anyone's race. And if you place a bet at bet365.com, it makes it even more exhilarating. Why? Because it's about keeping a promise to always give you our best price on every horse running. From 10 a.m. on race day, we constantly update our prices and match best price from selected competitors for all races shown live on Channel 4. So you know you'll absolutely get our best price. That's a promise. Bet365.com. Anything can happen.
Every season brings on young novices whose breeding and training will deliver the champions of tomorrow. Dubai makes every day an opportunity.
Frankel is at the start. He's got down there and he's in fantastic condition. He looks so cool, calm and collected. He's the ultimate pro. And Emma, his extraordinary winning aggregate compares to anything, doesn't it?
It really does. He's won 12 times. In those 12 races, he's won by a total of 69 lengths. His 8 Group 1s, he's won by 42 lengths. Well, Mike, if you compare that to the likes of See the Stars, who in his 6 victories won by just 9 3/4, Rock of Gibraltar, just 9 lengths, and even Zenyatta, in 13 races, just a total of 21. So he's almost treble those performances. He's absolutely spectacular.
Extraordinary, extraordinary.
His record of 6 Group 1 wins consecutively, and began the third last of those in the Lockinge at Newbury, beat Acceleration and Dubai Gold, and that was a taster of things to come.
Ascot was even more impressive. Acceleration got very tired trying to cover his move, and in the end is out on his feet as Frankel storms away to as impressive a win as you'll ever see over a mile. And then at Goodwood.
Yeah, Goodwood, it was far. Gabriel, Bullet Train, just trailing in his wake again. I think it's right to say, though, that this represents his biggest test this afternoon. It's what he does between the sort of 3 and 2. That's where he's been killing horses. Obviously, it's 2 furlongs further this afternoon. Will he have that kick? Everything that you've seen of him so far, I would say, suggests yes.
As we watch the eye catchers go through, Frankel, actually, to me, I've seen him most times he's run. He looks as well as I've ever seen him. Really muscled up compared to Goodwood, where I thought he was a little on the big side. What do you think, John?
Well, a lot of people used to, I said he invariably was sweating and didn't look of his best in the paddock. He's always looked exceptional when he's moving, but I think the older he's got, the better he's taken his racing. York, as I said earlier, doesn't suit all horses. They're travelling over it. He looks better now than I've ever seen him.
Start here just about halfway down the back straight over this mile, and 2.5 furlongs on the Naesmire. And in the early stages they do quite a lot of turning, swinging left-handed, but the course is pretty much flat all the way, but there's a lot of turns early on, and they make their way left-handed into the home straight, and when they swing into the home straight they have 4.5 furlongs to cover. It's usual nowadays that the jockeys come down the centre of the course. They spurn the inside running rail, but at least it reduces the risk of hard luck stories. That's the course and the distance for this Juddmonte International.
Ladbrokes, the magic sign, are hoovering up all the 8 to 1, 9 to 1 on, is now 10 to 1 on Frankel, 5 St Nicholas Abbey, and twice over, and 10 far.
So this is it. This is the moment that all Frankel fans have been waiting for, I think, for over 12 months now. What will happen when this incredible miler steps up in trip? There's all sorts of stats to break here as well. There's a massive amount at stake. His reputation on the line today. Will he come through with flying colours? Well, the man to describe the action, Simon Holt.
And far is going to be the last in for Godolphin. Frankie Dettori seeking his 6th win in this Group 1 prize. Just backing away far. He's back to 1.25 miles today, having been completely vanquished by Frankel in the Sussex Stakes at Goodwood 3 weeks ago. And they're just about lined up On the near side, Windsor Palace. And away they go. Frankel just a little bit slow out of the stalls, the last to leave the gate, in fact. And Bullet Train, his stable companion and pacemaker, out in front. But on the near side, Robin Hood and Windsor Palace is ridden forward as well. So the pacemakers filling the front 3 places. Now, significantly, Joseph O'Brien has got St Nicholas Abbey very handy in 4th place. He's been holding the horse up right at the back of the field in earlier races this season, but not today. St Nicholas Abbey is 4th as the pacemakers now apply the pressure. Back towards the outside of these is Far, Shri Future. They're followed by Frankel, Planteur, and in the green cap Twice Over as they make their way down the back straight. 38 miles per hour, much quicker than they went in the Great Voltager Stakes, and the field are well strung out, and it's Robin Hood that leads the way. Robin Hood on the far side from Windsor Palace and Bullet Train. This is the chasing pack there, headed by St Nicholas Abbey, then Far, Shri Future. Frankel is about 12-15 lengths behind the front-running Robin Hood as they race round the final turn. So Ballydoyle applying the pressure here. Robin Hood from Windsor Palace, just stealing a half glance at Eddie Ahern on Bullet Train in the white cap, wondering where Frankel is as they now race down the home straight. Frankel is towards the left in 3, 4, 5, 6th place at the moment under Tom Quillier, and about to break new ground over 1.25 miles. Robin Hood, Windsor Palace, the others queuing up. Far in the blue jacket, Shri Future, far side Twice Over. Frankel cruising up towards the stand side, next door to St Nicholas Abbey. What a prospect here as they race towards the final 1/4 mile, and Frankel comes cruising through, and St Nicholas Abbey is driven along by Joseph O'Brien, and they can't get him off the bridle. Far on the far side, fighting on gamely, but now Quealy asks him to stretch, and Frankel stretches away as only he can. Frankel by 5-6 lengths to Far, and St Nicholas Abbey, the crowd at York giving him a tremendous reception, a breathtaking win again, and Frankel wins the Juddmonte International almost on the bridle. Quite extraordinary. Tight for second, Far and St Nicholas Abbey, then Bullet Train, followed by Twice Over, Shri Future, Planteur, and the pacemakers at the back. No surprise there, Robin Hood and Windsor Palace. Well, what a horse this is, and if anything, he was just as impressive over the longer distance. Some would argue he was even better over it today, the way he cruised up to join them. He just picked them off easily. There was no effort involved at all, just the merest shaking up. And what a horse this is, the greatest racehorse in the world on ratings at the moment, British trained. Oh, what a summer of sport for British sport it has been.
Well, 40 years ago, people came to the Knavesmire to see the great Brigadier Gerard, and the one blip on his career occurred here. He soon redeemed himself on that, and he did run badly on the day anyway. But there's been a lot of talk about this horse, but all his performances have matched the hype. There's fantasy, there's fable, and there's Frankel, and my, has he delivered, and what a reception he's going to get. He was brilliant, John.
Oh, it's just a joy to watch him again, because, you know, you've got St Nicholas Abbey. He's won 3 Group 1 races over 1.5 miles. You've got Far, who admittedly he's come up through the handicap ranks, but, you know, he's a top-class horse. You can think about his run behind Danger. He's absolutely blown them away. And well done, don't forget Tom Quealy. You know, it's easy to forget. He had a difficult job to do. They went a ridiculous gallop early on, and there was just a brief moment I thought, oh, I hope he doesn't get boxed in on the rails. He had St Nicholas Abbey just in front of him, but it didn't happen. He's got plenty of horse underneath him, but he's ridden him, and he's done him a real favour again.
Well, we spoke to this man beforehand as he was leading Frankel across at the Knavesmire. Sandy, many congratulations. How was that watching that race?
Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
I mean, regards to the race, the way it unfolded, they went so quick, and he was so relaxed over this extra trip, wasn't he?
Well, Shane, who rides him, did a marvellous job on him. Can't thank enough for that, you know. All the credit goes to him, basically.
And watching it, you know, the reception that the crowd give him the last furlong and a half or so, I mean, it must nearly bring tears to your eyes.
It does. It does.
Are you now just incredibly proud, waiting to get Frankel?
I just can't wait. Hold back myself.
Well done.
Thanks
Go and congratulate him and Tom.
Well,
it's incredible, isn't it? Adrenaline is flowing here in the crowd. I don't know about you watching it at home, but it almost made you feel emotional watching the way this mighty horse cruised up on the bridle. As such as St Nicholas Abbey and Farah, who are top-class horses in their own right, are being driven hard to try and get this horse to break sweat. He is absolutely sensational. The time is very good too, unconfirmed 2:26.59. It's about 3 seconds quicker than standard. And Tom took a while to pull him up. I wonder if they could go for the Arc with him next. That would be something, wouldn't it? He's being offered at 10-1 on now with firms. Coral's quoting him at 10-1 on to win the Champion Stakes, and 4-1 on with a run for the Arc. Crowd here absolutely delirious. It's a fantastic afternoon to be here. And in doing so, he breaks Rock of Gibraltar's record of 8 consecutive Group 1s. He equalled that, of course, when he won the Sussex. Now it's 9, a glorious 9. And in his career, it's 13 out of 13. And that winning aggregate just gets bigger and bigger.
Well, John, I've been racing an awful long time, and I had a job for many years at Timeform analysing the horses and helping to contribute towards their weekly publications. You know, I understand how form works and the mechanics of it. I've certainly never seen a better horse. I mean, horses like See the Stars probably don't get the credit they deserve because he pulled up in front. But this horse has a brilliance. I've used Desert Orchid as a comparison because he was wonderfully exciting to watch at his best. And to me, the best of this horse reminds me of that frisson that he used to get when he was running.
Well, it's not that he's just so brilliant in what he's achieved, it's the manner in which he's done it. You know, it's like watching Bobby Moore play football or Roger Federer play tennis. He's got such grace, the way that he holds himself and moves. It's just a superb example of what you're trying to achieve as a breeder, and I can't even begin to imagine the pleasure that Scarlet Abella gets. And he's won 411,000 today, and that takes his earnings over £2 million now and puts Sir Henry Cecil into 3rd spot in the trainers list.
Well done, Tom. What an incredible reception you get from the crowd.
The Yorkshire crowd are good, aren't they? They enjoyed them, and that's good.
Talk us through the race, because at no stage there looked to be any worries, and they've gone a really good gallop for you.
I sort of suspected they'd go a good gallop, and we had our plan in place, and Eddie did a good job on Bullet Trail, and it all panned out nicely, and I gave them enough of a lead for the pace they were going, and he won ever so well. It was delightful to be a part of it.
Was he even better over Malnacourta? He looked it.
He was certainly as good, and it's a fantastic training performance. You know, every man and his dog seem to get their pennies worth in to see where he should run and what he should do, but to run him in the owner's race and to go and win 13 out of 13, it speaks for itself.
Well done, many congratulations. Enjoy the reception.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the winner of the Juddmonte International. Here he is, another breathtaking performance, a brilliant performance. He's the champion of the world, Frankel.
John, one of the bookmakers' quotes there said he's 4-1 on for the Arc. That's another 2 furlongs, a different test, obviously different group of horses. Would you go?
I wouldn't want to be laying him at 4-1 on. I think if they dropped him back to 6 furlongs and said we're going to run him at Haydock in the Haydock Park Sprint, I'd want to be on him. You see that last year's winner, his stable companion, twice over, he's beaten him nearly 15 lengths. I mean, I looked out of the hut where we're sitting, and I'd looked back, I'd read 3 lines of the paper, I came back and he was just coming past me again. Fantastic to see Sir Henry Cecil here. Been through all sorts of problems of late, but if there's ever going to be something to pick you up, better than anything that's going to come out of the bottle, that's for sure.
Here. And he's the best horse in the world, by the best stallion in the world. We've been through his pedigree umpteen times for you on Channel 4 in recent weeks. There's a reminder if you don't know it. What he'll be worth when he goes to stud, well, it's a daunting thought.
Tom, just over here when you're ready.
Well, the official winning distance, we haven't given you that yet, Emma, and all the excitement. 7 lengths to add to that incredible number. And the time, 2 minutes, 6.59, about a second below standard.
Do you know, I've been at, well, as have you, many of the successes of Frankel, but I honestly don't think I've ever enjoyed such a buzz about the place as there has been today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this crowd, we're here for one reason only, in expectation of this sort of performance. And he did all that we imagined and dreamed he would do. The way he's just travelled into it, it makes you want to laugh, doesn't it? Look at Joseph O'Brien on the top class at Nicholas Abbey. You know, a Breeders' Cup turf winner, and a very good Breeders' Cup turf winner at that. And look at this at the business end. He's making him look second rate.
But it's great, isn't it, that Tom actually, he asks him for a response, because he could just stay there on the bridle, couldn't he, and win by a couple of lengths and do it, you know, almost just cheekily looking around. But he doesn't. He says, come on, Frankel, let's see what you're made of here. How far are you going to quicken away this time? And it's usually, he's consistent, 6 or 7 lengths every time.
It is, isn't it? And this time, not even, you know, a stroke of the whip was needed. That wonderful stride was engaged, you know, almost spontaneous. Well, it was spontaneous. That's the beauty of this horse. He's made to race, and he's just brilliant to watch.
And for the man on board as well, Tom Queally, you know, an absolute horse in a lifetime. And every time he comes back, and he's just beaming, because he trots up, canters up to about the furlong marker and goes back, and he just absorbs the atmosphere. The crowd go nuts for this horse, and rightly so.
Well, I'm very pleased to welcome Sir Henry Cecil. I know your voice is just about gone, but if you could tell us, what was that like?
It was great, wasn't it? And you saw yourself, and you made the judgment.
He was outstanding. Is this the greatest achievement of your life?
Well, it's fantastic, and it's great for Yorkshire. They're very supportive for racing, and they deserve to see him.
And how does this make you feel now?
Probably 20 years better.
Great. Congratulations from all of us. Henry Cecil, superb. Teddy Becker, what was that like?
Absolutely fantastic. For Frankel, for Henry and the team to bring Frankel in such great shape to York. Brilliant crowd who absolutely appreciated him, and then for the horse to perform like he did. It's a dream, isn't it?
It's fantastic. A dream for all of us as well.
We're living it.
We're living the dream. Teddy, thank you.
Not at all. It's brilliant.
Well, Teddy Grimthorpe was here, you know, 40 years ago. He remembers being here as a young man when Brigadier Gerard couldn't win the Juddmonte, as it wasn't known then in those days of the Juddmonte. It was the Benson and Hedges. Roberto sprung one of the greatest surprises in the history of the turf. Surprises don't happen with Frankel. The only surprise is that we seem to be awestruck by him every time he runs. We should know better. He's just absolutely stunning, this individual. And he's being applauded as he's being led out on his little lap of honour around the paddock.
Do you know, as he was crossing the Knavesmire, he actually had a couple of police escorts. That's how serious Frankel is these days.
I've just spoken to Frankel's owner, Prince Khaled Abdullah, now talking to the press. He has just confirmed that Frankel has indeed run his last ever race.
We hoped perhaps it could be extended, but how can you improve on perfection?
In November 2012, Frankel left Warren Place for the last time and went off to begin his new life as a stallion at one of Prince Khaled's stud farms. Now worth over £100 million, he was too valuable ever to be ridden again.
He's touched so many people's lives, and there's kids who follow him, and there's You know, he means so much to a lot of people.
From a possibility that the greatest thing that's ever trod on the turf is going to be seen for the last time.
Frankel's acceleration is instant. Can Cadford Cliffs, he's drifting left, reeling his rival. No!
It's the best I've ever had. The best I've ever seen. I'll be very surprised. It's never been better.
The pushes Frankel, he's 15 lengths clear. He's pulverised him in the Guineas.
Big responsibility on Frankel. We're racing in the Royal Lodge. Out of the field, the entire field in front of him now, and he makes his move, and that's a lightning move too. By golly, he looks a champion. It's Frankel by 10 lengths. On the outside, Zoffany finishing fast, followed by Acceleration. It's Frankel now. He's starting to paddle. He's going up and down to the one spot, but he's held on. Frankel has won it.
Balance Frankel breezes up on the near side with Queenie sitting motionless, and here he goes down to the final two into unknown territory. Perfect mix of poetry and destruction, this glory of rhythm, power and majesty, the undisputed champion of the world.
Will this be the ultimate? That's it, they're off and running in the Kimco Champions Stakes.